Hello everyone, today here we are at the Cooler Masters booth for Computex 2018. Right here we have the C700M. The M here stands for Maker. So there is something different from the C700P that we took a look last year. So we can see that the front panel here has changed. The curved side panel is still the same as usual, but this time around the graphics card is mounted in this way. So this is something special that Cooler Masters is doing. I'm not too sure if they include a PCIe extension cable, but I really hope they do. And this thing can be actually tilted around too, so you can have some interesting angle to show off your GPU. So yeah, it's something unique, and Cooler Master told us that they have some accessory to connect your VGA, your HDMI DisplayPort, and everything else. So yeah, at the front here you can still take it out as usual. Wait, let me. And this is how you take out the new C700M front panel, and it's connected using these 5 pins for the RGB. As you can see here, there are 2 strips of RGB at the front. So that's pretty much the wrap up for the C700M, and then we also have more cases around. Let's take a look at that one. So this is the brand new H500M. It's the M version of the H500P. This is the Maker, and as you can see here, RGB fans at the front, RGB fans at the back. H500M comes with tempered glass panels at the front, at the side, and also at the top. So it's a very beautiful piece of case, but glossy plastic at the front panel here is to be considered. Right here we have one very special case. This is from the S series. It's called the SL600M. This case is very unique. You only have fans at the bottom, and the air intake is from the bottom, goes all the way to the up, and exhaust at the top right here. There are no intakes at the front, and the front is completely sealed off. Even your power supply is mounted at the front. Here's a 2.5 bay for your hard disk, and then you also have another one at the back right here. Your CPU will have to be oriented this way so that it won't obstruct airflow. Same goes to your GPU. You have to be vertically mounted, if not you block all the airflow. And at the top here, you actually have something special. If you don't have enough airflow, take it off. It's that simple, and you can mount radiators at the top too. So the whole thing is made out of aluminum. Very tough case, but interesting to see someone like Cooler Master to make a case like this that only takes in air from the bottom. So right here we have the all-new K500P. This is launching next year. It has 3 ARGB fans at the front. I'm not too sure about the back. And as you can see, the main aesthetics and the main selling point of this case is the RGB strip on the power supply shroud. I'm not too sure if you like this or not, but that's the only design that they have. This is tempered glass, of course, and you have some ventilation vents at the top, and also some breathing room at the front. This case is actually looking pretty okay, but then if you don't like the design, the streaks, the strokes of the light on the PSU shroud, then well, too bad, you're out of luck. And usually this is also the usual CM design for the front I/O panel. Oh, and as you can see here, all of them are using this logo right here, only this geometry, and there are no CM labels on the logo itself. Okay. So right here we have the MB series of cases. There are 4 new cases on the MB500 series cases right here. So this is the MB510L. This is it's actually all of them using the same frame itself. So this one comes with a tempered glass side and also carbon fiber front panel right here. The only airflow you get is the 2 breathing slits around the 2 sides right here. And at the top here, for all the cases in the MB500 series, you can mount up to a 280 radiator. 280mm radiator, and it does have some offset from the motherboard, so yeah, it won't obstruct your VRM. Next one here is the MB511. It's actually more or less the same as the MB110L, but the only difference here is that the front panel here is actually mesh and it's breathable instead of the carbon fiber texture, and you also have breathing rooms on the two sides. Still has the same acrylic side panel and also the 240mm radiator mount at the top. Nothing else has changed. The third one in the series is the MB520. So the only difference here between the previous two that we've talked about is the front panel again. Front panel this time is using an acrylic one, and the only breathing room is the two sides right here. So it's pretty similar to the MB510L, just that the carbon fiber texture is now acrylic, transparent acrylic, and that's it. Moving on to the final highest ends in the MB series, this is the MB530P. It comes with tempered glass front panel instead of acrylic or the carbon fiber texture. Still the same breathing room around the two sides right here, and this time you get tempered glass on the left and right side panels too. And that's pretty much it in terms of the MB500 series. Okay, so right here we have the very fancy custom design from Cooler Master in collaboration with AMD. This is the Ryzen Rift Ripper. It's specially designed for Threadripper. Again, it's using the TR4 socket, as you can see right here. That's why they have the very big base right here. Not sure what material it is, but seems to be nickel plated throughout the whole thing, and you have RGB strips on these two sides as well. And well, it looks pretty good. It's a beefy cooler for sure. Right here we have the history of the Hyper 212 series, as you can see here, from 2007 all the way 11 years later. This is the 2018 H212 concept. Of course, it is still not finalized yet. It looks a lot like the modern Cooler Master tower coolers. As you can see, it still has the fins, the fans and everything, of course with RGB this time. And one different thing is that they have a plastic shroud on the top right here. It's smoke acrylic, and you can see that there is an RGB logo for the Cooler Master right there. So it has one more additional heat pipe compared to the previous versions. It has 5 instead of 4, and then again maximum compatibility with your RAMs and stuff like that. And of course the brand new thing right here is that it has RGB. This is a brand new packaging for the thermal paste that Cooler Master is selling. All these are still the same previous Master Gel series, just packaging is different. So the only method that they want to apply now is that instead of coming at the tube syringe thing, they're using this type of design. So you can just open it up, press some thermal paste onto your CPU, and then you can spread it around using this tube itself. So it's not cylindrical, it's a bit more oblong, and that's what they are aiming to do. Again, thermal performance is the same as usual. This is just a brand new packaging for the existing Master Gel series. Onward to some concept cooling products. We just start the one on the right side right here. This is a transparent liquid cooler. This fins inside is actually the pump itself. I don't know why they don't want to turn it on, but I did ask them if that's a flow indicator or the pump itself, and they told me this is the pump itself. So it's transparent, it has RGB. We're not sure when this is launching. From what I've heard, it's in Q4 of 2018. But overall, it looks okay, I guess. But we have to test the performance when it comes out later this year. So the one on the right side here is something special. This is a thermoelectric liquid cooler. It is still in very early stages of development. It doesn't have an official name right now, but what we have right here as a demo unit is that this thing has RGB with the logo, Sure. And then you have a temperature meter right up below here, and you can see that there are 2 radiators. That's because this thing is doing the heat exchange for the Peltier. Again, thermoelectric cooling, you need some Peltier element. This 240mm radiator is the Peltier element itself. It's doing a heat exchange right here. And this is the cooling part of the whole thing. So why they have 2 radiators is because, from what Cooler Master has told me, a single 240 is not enough to cool this thing alone. So you need to have 2 radiators, one 240 and another 120. And then you have a thermal probe right here, which is why you are seeing 20.5 degrees Celsius. Again, not sure when this is releasing, as this is still in very early stages of development. This is the XG Gold 750 power supply. It's inverted right now. I'm not sure why, but that's how they're demoing. So the main highlight of this power supply is this panel right here. Not sure what type of screen is this, but there's an RGB button behind which you can toggle between a few modes to display. So right here we can see temperature. It's in this metered mode. I would really highly desire them to put numbers instead of this kind of bars, and then of course some logo, more lighting effects, and this is the power draw meter. Again, it's not giving you numbers, and then you have also the fan speed, again in bars instead of numbers. So temperature, and again back to the logo. That's the main highlight of this thing. It's quite near final design. I'm not too sure when they're releasing it, but yeah, that is the XG Gold 750. 7 years warranty with 80 plus gold certification. This right here, we have something special from Cooler Master. This is their brand new headset. We have here that on my hands is the MH751. This thing is very comfortable. You have very soft plush on the top and also PU leather ear cups, and you can exchange them if it is ever broken. We have no RGB lighting this time. You only have one CM logo halo right here, and the microphone is detachable. But yeah, volume control, mute, toggle switch, and this thing sounds surprisingly good. So we are actually expecting this to hit Malaysia sometime later this year. And right here we have the MH752. The only difference between this and the MH751 is that this 752 series comes with a USB DAC and 7.1 support. You do have these two buttons for your volume control, and it's USB powered. So yes, this is only meant for desktop usage. And lastly, we also have this headphone stand, which is pretty useful. So it might look like much. You do have a USB port right here, USB 3.0, audio pass-through, another audio pass-through at the back, and then you have another USB 3.0 on this side. So what's the most exciting part here is that this thing supports wireless charging. What you can do here is take the phone, pop it in, and you see the color change, and it's charging the phone. This is really useful. Very elegant. This right here is the CM310. It's a more flashy version of the CM mouse series. As you can see here, RGB LED across the whole rim of the mouse, and also the logo and the scroll wheel itself. The main highlight here is that it has an ambidextrous design, but the buttons are only on the for right-handed usage. And then you have DPI cycles and also a what is this, LED color mode change button. Still a up-down only scroll wheel. You don't have left and right tilt. Well, that's pretty much it. It's lightweight and very balanced throughout the whole mouse. Again, ambidextrous mouse, but buttons are only meant for right-handed usage. These two keyboards we have right here is the CK552 for this one and the CK550 on this one. What are the differences? Huh? Color. Okay. Yeah, okay. The only difference here is the color. You have a smoky gunmetal and midnight black. That's what they're calling the colors right here. Other than that, they are both using Gateron switches. And as you can see here, this is using a Gateron RAID switch. It's going to be more budget oriented, so expect it to be at a very low price and available in the Malaysian market soon. As for the typing experience, it's still too early to tell, but well, it's Gateron RAID, so if you have played around with Gateron RAIDs before, you do have some sort of idea. And last but not least, at the Cooler Master booth for Computex of 2018, this is some sort of a battle station that Cooler Master is actually gonna sell soon at about 2,000 USD each. Of course, 2,000 USD, you only get a bare bones, and someone's controlling the tilt right here, and you do have the tables like this. It is wide enough for you to, you know, play your games. I did test CSGO on this thing, and it's just fantastic. The experience is just gonna, you know, make me sit there for the whole day and play games non-stop. So that's all for the Cooler Master of Computex 2018 coverage. Subscribe for more coverage of Computex 2018. Check out the link below for, you know, written version or whatever. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.